And I'm live with a stable kbps, and yeah, things seem stable. YouTube also knows that I'm live. That is cool, and we can begin team attach. Let me increase the size. Team attach. Target is p, and yep, you can go there. Yep, connection is excellent, and things seem fine, amazingly fine. And now don't try to count. I tried to solve it but couldn't, and there was some error in the second input. We'll look into that later. And now 5 problems for today. At least that is the target. Comparison string. And tomorrow I will not stream because I will be participating in the competition. That is tomorrow. And the competition is something that you are not supposed to stream. That is why I will not be streaming the competition. And yeah, I will not be able to stream the competition because that is against the rules. So I will not stream. I will just do the competition on my own and see how much rank I get. And now begin. You are given a string S of length n each, where each character is either left or right angle bracket. Okay. An array A consisting of n plus 1 elements is compatible with the string S if for every I from I1 to n, the character Si, okay, represents the result of comparison AI and AI plus 1. Okay, that is Si is this if and only if AI is less than AI plus 1 and Si is greater than if and only if AI is greater than AI plus 1. For example, in if the array this is compatible with less than, greater than this. There are other arrays which are compatible with that string. For example, something like this, which is less than, greater than. Okay, the cost of the array is the number of different elements in it. For example, the cost of this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 because I have 4 distinct elements, and the cost of this thing would be 1, 2, 3. Shit, 1, 2, 3. Ah, that is cool. 3. You have to calculate the minimum cost among all arrays which are compatible with the given string S. Minimum cost. That should be cool. That will be doable. Input the first is T test case consists of 4 length n and then this. Okay. Okay. This is doable. Let me click on here on the extension, then uh, go to 900 level first of all and hit new and click here again and CPP boilerplate int n is the first thing that I will be getting, and yeah, cn n and string s, right, and cn s. Now I have the string and I have n. Now what would be right? If I have a number at the start, I can say it is any number, right? And if I see a greater than symbol, then I have to add a new number. And if I see a less than symbol, then I decrease a number. But if I see a greater than again, then I do not have to add. I can just take the one that was before. Right. So how does this work? Yeah. So the thing would be total number of greater than? No. No, no, no. I will have a counter C, and yeah, I will keep making it go up and down, up and down, up and down, and the maximum positive value that it will have, that plus the maximum negative value, the minimum negative value that it has, its absolute value would be the total number of distinct numbers that I have. That is the plan in my head. So I will have to traverse this thing, and I do not need to keep track of the index. I can just work with a few three numbers, C for current character and max and min. And min is supposed to be negative, and with C with no C would be, do I need, yeah, I would need C, and CH for char CH would be the character, current character, and I will traverse through S. So, and C is initially equal to 0, and max is also equal to 0. Instead of this, C equals max equals min equals 0. All of them are initially equal to 0. Now, if CH equals this greater than symbol, then wait, first this symbol, then I will do C plus plus, right? And else C minus minus. And after doing that, I'll see max equals is C, current C, maximum, then max, question mark. If it is, then make it equal to C, otherwise keep it max, and min is C, less than min, question mark. If it is, then C, otherwise keep it as min, and the final answer would be max plus absolute value of min and a new line. Okay, for something like this, I mean, C would initially be 0, and encountering two of these, C would become equal to 2, and max would become equal to 2, and then C would become equal to 1 and 0. So answer for this thing would be true, 2. Shit, I think I should have C equal to plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Yeah, plus 1, because I would always have at least two distinct numbers no matter what I do. Yeah, I think this is correct. Test and correct. Yep. B comparison string. Choose. Nope. Documents. Programming. Computer programming 900. Wait, it is called B comparison string. B comparison string. Submit. And hi sir. Why sir? But yes sir. Hello sir. And it is running. Shit, I guess yeah, I gave wrong answer on test 2 due to some reason. Let's see. On test 2, where it did fail on the 8th number difference. Expected 3, found 4 on the 8th. Okay, in the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one. This one right here. Spell it wrong. So this, right, initially, let's say I have a 0. Then I have to find something that is less than 0. That would be minus 1, and then something even less than that, minus 2. And let's go according to my algorithm. Minimum is equal to 0, max equals 0, and C equals 0, right? After passing the first one, min becomes equal to minus 1, and yeah, max remains 0, and C becomes equal to minus 1. Then C becomes equal to minus 2, min decreases again, minus 2, and then yeah, because of that symbol, min becomes minus 1, and then because of that symbol, min becomes equal to minus 2, and because of that symbol, min becomes equal to minus 3, and because of that symbol, min becomes equal to minus 2, and because of that symbol, min becomes equal to minus, no, it remains at minus 3. That is the maximum value that it is going to reach, and then with that, minus 1, and then minus 2. Right. So 3, my answer is 4. How would that be? Let's say Initially, if I had 0, then I have to find something lesser than 0, minus 1, and then lesser than minus 1. And then this something greater than minus 2, that will be minus 1. Something now this less than minus 1 would be minus 2, and then something lesser than minus 2 would be minus 3, right? That is greater than, right? Greater than, yes. Less than, yes. Then greater than, and then greater than, right? 2 greater than, right? And then when minus 3, something greater than minus 3 would be minus 2, and something less than minus 2 would be minus 3. I have 4 distinct numbers, so why would the answer for this thing not be that? Do I have the correct thing? I do have the correct thing. Uh, greater than, greater than, greater than, greater than, less than, greater than, greater than, less than, greater than. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hmm, interesting. Okay, that must be someone I know. Uh, I have removed that message, and the spelling was wrong, by the way. Whoever you are, I think Aniket or Arjun, I don't know. Minimum would be minus 3. So my answer is correct. My answer is 4, but it says that the answer is supposed to be 3. Wrong answer, 8th number. Expected 3 but found 4. Is that the 8th one that I selected? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, this is the 8th one. Hmm. This is the 8th one. If I have 0, then I can begin from positive 3, let's say 4, and something lesser than 4 would be 3, something lesser than 3 would be 2, something greater than 2 would be 3, something lesser than 3 would be 2, something lesser than 2 would be 1, something greater, lesser than greater than 1 would be 2, and something lesser would be 1. Is there a point in which I can is there a place in which I can replace numbers? Yes, I need something that is smallest. If I replace this 3 by 4, let's say, then I can replace this thing by 3, and I can replace this thing by 2, and I can replace this thing by 3, and I can replace this thing by 2, and now the answer is 3. But fuck, how the fuck am I supposed to get to that? Okay, I would have to change my mental model. In this case, if I want something, shit, how would I do this then? The least, right? Yeah. Uh, okay, so the least would be if I have a continuous thing here like this. The maximum, I mean, I guess these things, this could cancel, right? Uh, okay, let me count. Where I cannot place the sequence in which I can divide this into subarrays, right? Subarrays of similar signs. This is one subarray, and this would require to fulfill to make my array compatible with this subarray, I would require three numbers. And for this subarray, I would require two numbers. For this subarray, I would require three numbers. And for this subarray, I would require two numbers. And for this, two numbers. So my task is to just count the subarray with the longest length. And the answer would be length plus one. Because, yeah, the answer would be length plus one. That is too simple now. So array with the longest length, right? Okay, so for that I would need C this, C less than and C greater than, that is current less than and current greater than, and max less than and max greater than. That is what I would require. And now if I see this thing, this which is if I see this, listen, I can increase where initially all of them are supposed to be equal to 0. CLT equal to current greater than equal to maximum less than equal to maximum, maximum greater than all equals 0. And here current less than will be increased by 1 and current greater than will become equal to 0. And in here the opposite would happen. Current greater than would be increased by 1 and current less than would become equal to 0. And at the end I'll see maximum less than equal to is current less than greater than maximum less than. If it is, then make it equal, otherwise keep it as it was. And maximum greater than equals current greater than maximum greater than. Is that the case? Then current greater than, otherwise maximum greater than. And the would be answer would be the maximum of these two, maximum greater than or maximum less than, whatever the maximum is, plus 1 with a new line. Let's see, does it work here? It does work here. And do I need two of these things? Yeah, I think, yeah, it just works. Submit. Let's see. It is running on test 1 and then supposedly on test 2, and it is accepted. Hello, sir. Okay, I do not know who you are. Put user in time ODI. Add as moderator. I will not add this person as moderator. 24 hours timeout. Hello, sir. And I have done that. This question. Now we can want permutation swap. Shit, my permutation is not good. You are given an unsorted permutation. Okay, from 1 to n. Unsorted permutation. To sort the permutation, you choose a constant k, which is greater than or equal to 1, and do some operations on the permutation. In one operation, you choose two integers I, j, which are between 1 and k, and inclusive 1 and n. 1 and n, yes, such that I minus j equals k, okay, at a distance of k. That is, I have in between them how many k minus 1 integers between them. Okay, then swap these two Okay, what is the minimum value, maximum value of k that you can choose to sort the given permutation? Okay, a permutation is an array consisting of n distinct integers from 1 to n in arbitrary order. For example, like this permutation. Okay, all of these are distinct, and the size is, since the size is 5, I will have in this every integer from 1 to 5 is a permutation, but this is not a permutation since 2 appears twice, and this is not a permutation because n equals to 3. I should not have 4 there, right? To sort this since, right, I should see if how much of the middle part is already sorted. For this, k would be 1. Okay, for this, k would be 1. It is 2. Okay, shit. For this, my algorithm has already gone out the basket. Now I have to think of the permutation. Hmm. I have t, then I have n, then I have the numbers themselves. Right. I'll store them in an array, and let's see. Boilerplate int n and n and vector int a, and for int I equals 0, I less than n I plus plus, and then c into c, which is not declared yet, and then a dot pushback c. Now I have the array k. I have to, you are given an unsorted permutation P1 to Pn. To solve the permutations, you choose a constant k is less than equal to 1, and do some operation. Okay, I do understand the problem, but how am I supposed, how should I solve this? I have k minus 1 integers in the middle. Okay, like if the maximum amount of k that I can have, the minimum amount of k is of course 1, that is I have 0 integers between. The maximum amount I can have is 2, is n, but no, I cannot have k equal to n because then I would have to have n integers between, which I cannot have because I only have n integers. So the maximum amount of k that I can have is n minus 2, and in this answer is 1, in this answer could be 1. I have to give out the maximum amount of k, maximum value of k. So I know that 1 is fine for every case, but how can I maximize in this? 4, 1, they are saying I can use 4. I The length is 9, so if 4, then I can change 1 with 1, 2, 3, 4, and this, right? And then I can change this one, right? I can change all of these then subsequently, and since there are 3 more here, then after 1 I can go 3 more, 1, 2, 3, and 9. Who How am I going to change 9? 9 has to be at the end, but how is that going to happen? For this, they are saying that the answer is 4. How is it 4? Because I minus j equals. Okay, so yes, I will have 3 integers in between. Okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Since I want to reach every single number till in the middle, then I can work with that. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. And since this is a permutation, I can use that fact that ith index should ideally have I plus 1 at there if I is 0 indexed. And in this, I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 are at their perfect places. So I can afford to have a larger k, and that larger k, since I need to touch these elements at the boundary from my middle is these two numbers. Since my size is 3, then my middle would start at, let's say, 6 minus 6 divided by 2 is 3. My middle would start at this element, let's say, and I would go back and I would go forward, and I will see that these two are already sorted at their places. So I do not want to touch these two, and that would be, and my k would be equal to the numbers that are already sorted plus 1. But not always, since in this case none of them are sorted except 4. But I don't actually care about 4. I need to see how much into the middle can I go, or into the middle, or how much numbers can I touch. I'm thinking of it in a visual way in my head. Let's see, 0 concurrent viewers is crazy. I don't want to go to XP draw. I am trying to visualize it in my head. I have an array, and k minus 1 is the amount of, let's say k is the amount of integers that I can have in the middle. Yeah, the maximum ideally should be equal to the maximum that I want to be equal to the, to replace the first one and the one at the middle. And if I keep moving this forward, then it should also be equal to the, yeah, I should be able to get the element at the end and the element before the one at the end. So if I have even and odd, that would change my formula a bit, right? Yes, if n remainder 0, right? And that is if it is odd, right? But I should see this. If not odd, that is if it is even. In case that it is even, in case that it is even, then I would like to have what, the middle element and that, right? Can I go greater than that? I will get the index of that number, the one after that, and here I am. Then I can go there, and I'm able to change. Right, but there also has to be some overlapping, I guess, right? Yes. When it is even, when it is even, the answer here is 2. Shit. The answer here is 2 due to some reason. Uh, uh, that is, I can only have one element in the middle. Ah, shit. Um, yes, that would not work because I would only be switching places of two elements. Right. I know what the ideal place of an element should be, and minimum. Okay, so when I see a number, I know where it is supposed to be, right? So I know with which element it is supposed to be replaced with. And if I know the smallest distance that I have to make, and element go to, then that would that be my answer. And this, the smallest distance is 1. This one has to go to left. So it has to move 1 block. Answer is 1 in this case. In this, the smallest is 2. This one has to go there. This 2 has to go move 2 places. This 4 has to move 4 places. This 3 has to move 4 places. Answer is 2. And in this 2 is perfectly where it is supposed to be, but still the answer is 3. Fuck. So it is not about the smallest. And what is the maximum distance that an element has to move? Wait, smallest distance, which is not the element itself, which is, yeah, small. So it would be this 4 has to go to there, which is like 3 places. So 3, and this 2 is exactly where it is supposed to be, but we will not count that. And this 6 has to go 4, 5, 6, 3 places. That is cool. This 7 has to go 3 places. This 5 has to go 1 place. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it is exactly where it is supposed to be. This 3 has to go 3 places, and this one has to go a lot of places. So answer is 3. Okay, okay. 1, we do not consider that. And in this has to move 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is where it is supposed to be. Yes, it has to move 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. This has to move 4 places. This is where it is supposed to be. This thing, it has to move 4 places, right? 4 is the smallest till now. And this thing also has to move 4 places. And this also has to move 4 places. This has to move 1 place. No, this is where it is supposed to be. And this is supposed to move 4 places. Right. Right, right, right. So in my algorithm passes this case. In this, we do not consider this one. 5. This 5 has to move 3 places. This 3 is exactly where it should be. This is where it should be. This is where it should not be. This has to move 3 places. Okay. Okay. It is making sense now. So I have to traverse through the thing and find out the minimum. Okay. Right. Current and min. And min is initially equal to, I will make it equal to min equal to 1, and I will not need a vector then. Now, C is a number, and shit, I starts at 1 and goes up till less than equal to n, and in here, and in here, Cn, and if C, absolute, that is, absolute of C minus I, if that is not equal to 0, right? If that is whatever it is, and then abs, wait, and distance equals abs C minus I, and if abs, if distance, if it is, that is, it is not it is non-zero, and if it is, right, then just see if min equals, I will compare this, is this less than min, question mark. If it is, then this, otherwise it is min, and at the end see out min with a new line. CVP run test, and that is correct. It's called a permutation swap, not CVP, and a permutation swap CVP. Wait, A or B? It is B permutation swap. Okay, level B. Okay, what is the topic now? Sir. Can you add topic in the title, please? Which rating are you? Add your LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is my YouTube channel description, and yes, it is in my minimum doesn't always work. Okay, yep. Wrong answer on test 2. Minimum is not working. Uh, on test number 93, and shit, I will not be able to find it. Minimum doesn't always work, right? I will not be able to see what that test is. And shit, this is the sheet that I'm solving. It is at 900 rating. Think of a array with a unsorted element and diff of 2 and 3. Think of a array with unsorted elements at diff 2 and 3. Okay, I have an array with unsorted elements with diff 2 and 3. Hello again, Eric Lee. How are you? This is the question that we are trying to solve here. This one. Permutations of problem number 1828B. Shit, if I do C, will I get some question? Shit, there is some question again. Uh, shit, that is good. If I do H is the highest, I guess. Nope, for this we only have till C. Difference between the positions of A pair is 2, okay, and another is 2. Here answer is not 2. Okay, why would that be? If difference here is 2 and somewhere else also it is 2, then answer should be 2. If I can move those two, answer should be 2. Another is 3. Okay, answer is not 2, but I have to move at least 2 positions, right? So that is the maximum value of n that I can wait. uh, um, but here it was wrong because I gave a k which is higher than what it should be. Difference between position of a pair is 2, right? Right, a number has to go to a place that to a place to either to the right or to the left. Then I have to move at least k, at least 2 places, and in that case k should be equal to 2. Hmm, k should be equal to 2. Shit, I will have to open Excalibur now. I have the numbers. Let's say, well, my algorithm is working for all of these, but let's see if I have a list, whatever it is, a permutation of 5 numbers. Let me think of a edge case in which my algorithm will break. If I have till 11, let's say this exact thing, my algorithm is working with this thing. And if I have something like this, 1 and does not has to move anywhere. This 11 has to go to the last, and for that it will have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It will have to move 9 places, and the 6 will have to move. It is at third index. Wait, 9 was at 2, so 11 minus 9 is this, and this 6 is at third index, and it has to go to the 6th. So answer is 3. This 4 is where it is supposed to be, so 0, and then this 8 is at fifth index. Answer is 3. This 3 has to go left, and it is currently at 6, and it has to go 1, 2, 3. 6 minus 3 is just 3. This 7 is exactly where it is supposed to be. This 5 is at 8th position, so 3, and this is at 9th position, that is cool. This is at 10th position, that is cool. This is at 11th position. This has to move 9 left. So at minimum, I have to move 3 places, right? If I can move this number 3 places to the left, this 3 places to the right, 3 places to the right, 3 places to the right, and yeah, 3 is the minimum number that I have to move, that I must move. Take example, this, okay. Your algo will give 2. You need to have some maths intuition before solving this problem. Okay, let's see. For this, I want this 4 to go to the fourth position. It's at fourth, and it is currently at 1. So it is here. It should be here. This should be. This is at third and needs to go to 5. 2. This is at fourth. 3. This is at fifth. 2, and this is at 6, 0. My algorithm does give 2 for this. Is 2 wrong here? I can make this one has to go. Okay. Okay, shit. So, right. Okay, whatever these numbers are, I have to take their HCF, highest common factor, because I need to have a number through which I can make these 2 moves and also these 3 moves. Yeah, yeah, I get your point that one is 2 and the other is 3, then the answer is not 2 but 1. Okay, yes, that makes sense. So I need to have a number through which I can make these 2 steps move and these 3 steps move, and that would be cool. That makes sense instead of just choosing the minimum. And in here, the minimum I could have was 3, because 3 did work here because 3 is the HCF between 9 and 3. That is cool. Thank you for the intuition, maths intuition, which I must have. And instead of choosing the minimum now, I will create an array, a vector, integer, and call A, and then take C, take the absolute difference, and I'll put it in the vector A dot. Or can I take the, yeah, I think I can take the HCF at point and take the HCF there also a function. I'll call this HCF, and I will have a number called HCF, and this will go from 1. Shit, and this will go from 1. What is the HCF going to be initially? Initially, the HCF should be, nah, shit. Let me create a vector. Okay, that is fine. I can have this much leeway, I guess. A dot push back A now. Sad. Right, and after this, I would like to traverse through this. I equal 0, I less than A dot size minus 1, I plus plus, and HCF. And now I have to write a function to calculate HCF. It will return an integer HCF f finder int A and int B. And what was the formula to find HCF? If A divided by B equals 0, or maybe it was A remainder. If A remainder B equals 0, then return B, otherwise return X B F F A B comma B divided by A. Don't know. Is this correct? I don't think so. Answer is 1. See, 0 cos. Wait, except 0. Yeah. Yeah. Shit. If this. If how to find greatest common divisor in this. Greatest common divisor. Shit. I should have known this. Reading. Uh, while b is not 0, if b is not 0, then this and this. Return a at the end. B equals a remainder b, and a equals temp, which was equal to initial b. Okay. I'm just copying pasting this essentially. If b is not equal to 0, or while b is not equal to 0, yes, while b do temp equals b, and b equals a remainder b, and a equals temp, and at the end return b, return a. Is a becomes equal to b when b becomes equal to remainder. Yeah, when remainder becomes equal to 0, then a should be the answer. 21 b, and 15 here. It's int h equals HCFF of AI comma AI plus 1, and HCF equals, I have to find the minimum HCF. It's minimum HCF. HCF equals H is, if it is lesser than HCF, question mark, then make it equal to H, otherwise keep it HCF, and test. Fuck. Wrong answer. Okay, it is, I'm putting 1. Mm, distance is cool, I is cool. I'm putting distance into A, that is cool, and then I'm finding the HCF of A. If I have a distance, right, and distance is positive, that is cool. A and B, where do I have to see if number 1 is greater than number 2 or nothing? No. Is my array fine? C out A bracket I, and then comma, and this just to see it. Yeah, see, it is of course wrong, but I have 2 and 1. Answer is 2, and then this answer is shit. Why do I have 1 at the end of all of these? Because why? Why do I have 1 at the end of all of these? It are pushed back a distance. C is the last thing that I got, and I is equal to n at the end. And why do I have 1 at the end of all of these? Wait, one shit, one is the answer that I outputted. So in this case, the answer should be three. In this case, the answer should be two. Should be two. And in this case, the answer should be three. Yeah, yeah. In this case, the answer should be three. In this case, the answer should be four. Here it should be four. Here two, and here one. Right. But here it is not working. My something is wrong with my HCF function. B equals temp. A equals temp. B equals A remainder. B temp equals B, while B is not equal to 0, which is same as while B, int temp equals B, and B equals A remainder B, and then A equals temp, and at the end return A. That is cool. Using GCD in the algorithms and numeric GCD function. CVP has built-in GCD function. Built-in GCD function in C++. It's called, it is in the numeric library, but I do not have that library. I do have that library. Included header numeric is not used directly. Yes, shit. Then I VCT, can I use that? Use of undeclared function. Shit. Numeric, it is called numeric, and the function is called GCD. It is not there in the library. I think my LSP is using might be using an older version of C++ or underscore GC. Underscore GC. Now, nope, I don't have it. I'll have to define it on my own. This should not be this hard. It is not hard. Res is the minimum of the two, and minimum while minimum is greater than one. Do this. A remainder minimum. A break this, and then break while if when at least one of them becomes equal to 0. I take the minimum and I reduce the minimum and I see at one. Ah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Right. So int minimum and answer equals minimum of a comma b and y. Right. I have the minimum and both are positive and non-zero. So I can have while a remainder minimum equal to not equal to 0, or while a comma remainder and b remainder minimum. What do I have to do? That is, I do have a remainder. I'll just decrease remainder minimum by 1, right? And again I will return minimum. Answer, not minimum. Answer, 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 and test this. The wrong answer due to some reason. Fuck. It is still 1. I want to output. What the heck is it? 1. I took the minimum and my array is fine. Can I see out A? For if and B in A, see out B, and then this, and after this, yeah, a new line. Right, for this it was 2 1 1, 2 2 2 3. Yeah, shit, it should be fine. For this it should be 3 2. Yeah, so something is wrong with this thing. I am giving AI plus 1, that is cool, and HCF. What is HCF initially? Should I have not initialized HCF? Shit, HCF equals shit. I did not initialize HCF. HCF equals yeah, HCF of A0 comma A1. If they exist, and I think they will exist in all these cases, and correct answer. B permutation swap, submit, and submitted. Wrong answer on 93rd. Expected one found 2. Again the same thing. Shit. Do I have to select this again? I have saved this thing. B permutation swap dot cpp. B permutation swap dot cpp. Yes, that is the one. Submit. Exactly the same code as before. Okay. I am taking this and then that. Right. If it is exactly where it is supposed to be, then we are good to go. Otherwise, no. Shit, I cannot even see what my problem was. Mm, or maybe I can initialize HCF equal to n at the start. That would also make sense. Permutation swap. Mm, choose file. So submit. Should be working. Mm, running on test 1. I think it will break on test 2. Yes. On problem number 93. Mhm. Expected 1 found 2. Expected 1 found 2. That's safe is fine. There's something wrong with the logic. In this, I am finding what is the minimum move that I have to make. Right, if I have an element here and this, and I want to move this there and this one here. So I can just swap them once and it works. This here and this here, swap them once and it works. Minimum, so here minimum is 1 because that is it. But it would not work. Okay. Wait. Hmm. 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 If I output k equals 1, if I output k equals 1, sure. Right. Um. Mm-hmm. 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 That would be the number of nodes. If I have k equals 2, in that case, every element can only go to places that are 2 uh, there are either two moves to their right or two moves to their left, any number of times. And if my answer is 3, then they would go only get two moves to their right or two moves to their left. But there could also be, wait, there could also be an overlapping. Nope, there will not be an overlapping. There could be, nope, there will not be an overlapping. Shit, it should work. I have K, which is something, and it essentially what it does is it divides the array. If my K is 3 in this, let's say if my K is 3, right? So this thing above this thing becomes equal to 0, 1 and 4 and 7 and 10. This is one of the arrays, and I will have another array which is equal to 11, 8, 5, 2, and I will have another array which is equal to 6, 3, 9. Right? These are the three arrays that I will have: 1, 11, 6, 1, 11, 6, and 1, 4. Yes. And I will have to, and I can change for these, I can sort them using binary sort. Hmm? Yeah, binary sort. I can take 3 here, 6 will come here, and 9 will be where it is, and I will put them into their respective places. Mm, initialize GCD equal to 0. GCD equal to 0. Your implementation is wrong. Approach is correct. Good evening. Implement. If I initialize GCD equal to 0, how would that work? Because I'm looking for the minimum, and if GCD is already equal to 0, then it would not increase. It would always remain at 0. Right? Let me change this wording from GCD. Let's see if to GCD. Wait, this question mark. Let's see this S HCF question mark S HCF S HCF to GCD globally question mark S HCF. Shit, what is the thing? This S HCF X. Mm, how to replace text and global with a file. Percent X percent S CF by GCD globally as if it is appearing twice in a file in a line, then change it everywhere. GCDFF GCD yes, GCD equals n initially, because that is the maximum value, and whatever I find here, it is going to be lesser than n. So why should I initialize it at 0? Shows your setup. This is my setup. I am using NeoVim with Tmux. And if you are talking about my physical setup, then maybe later. If implementation is wrong, approach is correct. Okay. Let's see, I am doing A. A is fine. A is as it should be. If distance that there is. If the element has to move, then put it in A, right? Cool. And then find the GCD function of I and the next one, right? That is also cool. And if this one is smaller than what the earlier GCD was, then put it equal to H. Otherwise, keep it as GCD and then output GCD. How is this implementation wrong? GCDF is also fine. I'm taking the minimum of A and B, and then yes, I am taking the minimum of A and B and find while the remainder of answer with both of them is something. Oh shit. While this, if one of them is false, then right, if this or this, right, if either one of them is something, then when both of these are false, then return answer. Was that the problem? Let's see. Submit. GCD is x0 is x. Assume difference of 2 and n equals 3. You will get GCD equal to 2. GCD equal to 1. But answer is 2. Difference of 2 and n equals to 3. You will get GCD. No, I am not adding 0 to my list. I'm not adding 0 to my list. Now we have made a little progress. Now we are going up to test number 3. That is cool. And now the problem is here. Expected 2, found 4. So, and in this, you will get 1, but answer is 2. In this, yeah, in this, I do not see any problem. And you're saying that I'm putting GCD equal to n equal to 3, but I'm not giving the value of the initial value of GCD into here, right? I am comparing the initial value of GCD, which is n, with the GCD of the first element and the next element and the second element. So, which is always going to be lesser than n. So that is fine. Now we have reached the third case, but here also we messed up. Why? While now the GCD function is fine. I take the minimum of answer, and I think it might be because function 5 has big numbers. Okay, n is t is 10,000, and what is the maximum value? Let me see. Yeah, let me see the boundaries. What are the constraints? N can be equal to this. Okay, if that is the case, then instead of storing it in an array, I should be finding the GCD on the spot, because there is only a limit to how big an array can be. And in this Cn taken the last, I would have to have the last one and the current one, and running GCD will be initially equal to n, and I have this and goes distance, last one would be equal to, right, take this CNN and C current distance, I'll call it, not current distance, but L equals absolute of C minus of 1 minus C. I would have the last distance, and then this has to start at 2 to give the correct distance, and then distance, right, and then what's GT of last and this, right, replace that, and last becomes equal to this, but only if this was something the last time, right, only if this was something the last time. And yes, makes sense. I can then just remove this. And what is the maximum value of AI that I can have? Right, and oh shit, 10 power 5, that is fine, that is fine. Integer can handle that much. Something with 5 zeros. It is outputting -1 for some things. Answer should have been 4 and 3, and it is outputting -1 in these cases. Why? Because in these cases the answer is supposed to be 1. No, answer in that one is supposed to be 4, and in the next one is supposed to be 3, which is equal to n. Right, so in here, and fourth case, 4 in this, for this, L becomes equal to 0. Ah, shit, yes. I cannot have it initially equal to 0. If this and L, right, right. So I have to find the L that is non-zero from the start. And why do I have to do that? Yes, makes sense. Or either that, or yes, this is because I am unable to initialize L. I can initialize L with, can I initialize L with N? No, 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 no. Yes, I have to initialize L with something. Mm. And why am I doing all of this? So that I do not have to store my answer in an array, in a vector. Hmm. That also makes sense because I do not want. I, can I have 10,000 elements in my array? Is it okay to have 5 elements in a vector in C++? Since 10 power 5 and each integer takes how much? 32 bits. It's generally acceptable to have this elements in your vector in C++ is dynamic array, that it's no than that. But it's fine to have this much array, this many elements. So that is fine. There are a lot of things wrong in your implementation, bro. Go there, go to an earlier solution. I think that is fine. Mm, submit. This one, it will break on the third one. Yep. This one is breaking on the third one. Why is this one breaking on the third one? and I equals 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus, and I am adding things to the array, right? And then GCD equals n, that is fine. GCD equals n is fine because at the end my GCD represents k and k cannot be greater than n. And all I'm doing with GCD is I'm comparing it with whatever the GCD is that I find at the point of finding it, right? Right. And I'm only finding GCD for the elements for the distance. So I don't see something that is wrong, that might be wrong with this. While remainder with A is not equal to 0 and remainder of B is not equal to B equal to 0. Right. And when both of them become equal to 0, I can return answer. GCD function is also fine. And h equals GCD function of AI and AI plus 1. Right. That is cool. Right. AI and AI plus 1 and distance absolute of C minus I, and I starts at 1 and goes up to n, and I am only adding it into the distance if into A if it is non-zero, right? That also makes sense. And an integer can handle something uh, that has 5 zeros, right? Yes, an integer can handle a number up to 2 billion. So this is pretty cool. This is less than a million. This is 100,000. Bruh. I cannot even see the test case in which it is breaking. It is pretty below. Expected 2, found 4, and 1600 number. GCD, 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 GCD. Vector. I'm taking the distance that a number has to travel, and then put it into the array, and then taking GCD of all the individual elements in the array which are non-zero, and if the current GCD is lesser, wait, 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 shit, 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 GCDF I and a shit 0, n is at least 2. It has to be at least 2, n has to be at least 2. Yes, it is at least 2, so I can do this. AI1. Shit. And now I get your point. Now Ari Joshi, Ari Joshi, I get your point. I have to change this, and I have to go till the end, and I have to change this. I can start this from 1, and I have to go from, I have to find GCD of GCD. Right, this should work. GCD of the current element and the GCD of whatever the current GCD is, and compare it. Yeah, shit. This was pretty obvious, I guess. I think now it should work. Or it might break on the first one. Accept it. Fuck. Yes, that was the problem. Shit. My mother is calling, but I will pick up later. odd queries. Let's see, you have an array. So that was done. That is cool. Now you have an array from AI to AN. Answer Q queries of the following form. This is D. This will increase my rating the most when I am in a competition. This is the form of queries. Okay. If we change all elements, I have, I think I've submitted. No, no. If we change all elements in the range left to right of the array to K, will the sum of the entire array be odd? Okay. Note the queries are independent and I have to go out a bit for a bit and I will be right back. I will be right back. Stop this. Yep. And I'm back and we can move on to the third one. This one. Okay. This is the nature of the queries that will be asked and each test contains multiple test cases. That is the first line of each test case consists of two integers n and q. N and q number of queries, the length of the array, and n is the length of the array. I can store them in an array. Vector does not matter, and q is also cool. I can store it. I can answer q at the spot. The second line of each test case has n integers and their values can range up to 10 to the power 9, which is the limit of an integer. Okay, and next line consists of three integers L, R, and K. Cool, 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 cool. Ah, we got this. Okay, ball plate, and first I have N, then I have Q, then I have N, Q, then the vector, right, and then I will have like L, R, and K. So C N, and then Q, and then I will have a vector which stores integer. It would be called A, and for int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What I have to do is C into C and A dot goes back C. Let me initialize C or like declare C and now I have these things and then for int I equals 0. I need to have the sum of these, right? How many odd numbers there are and how many even numbers there are. Right, and instead of the fact what the number is does not matter. What matters is either it is odd or even. So C equals C remainder 2. Like so either 1 or 0. If it is 0, then it is even. If it is odd, then it is odd. Then it is, yeah. And if can I have an algorithm too? Yeah, shit. Yes, I can have an algorithm Right, right. There is an array in which I take accumulative sum. So instead of this, I can do a dot pushback. Initially, a equals the first element of a is 0. That that is cool, right? And a of c, that is the current element. The next element would be equal to c plus then that is the current element plus the next element, which whatever was the last element. So a dot at -1, and instead of initializing this at 0, let me do c into c and initialize this with c remainder 2, and this will go out till 1 from 1, so it will go one less time, and then I will continue taking in this and then this. That is cool. And then another loop for int I equals 0, I less than q, and I plus plus. I will take and see in what is the order of these things. First I will have L, then R, then K. Okay, L and K, right? After that, you will have to do this type of questions in a contest under 5 to 7 minutes to gain positive delta. Yes, I will have to do these questions faster. That is why I'm practicing. And my thing is that after doing these questions, by giving them time, over time they will become faster. I will be able to see things that are taking me time to see now, and things will be offloaded to my subconscious, and yeah, I will be using more of my subconscious. But now I have to be conscious about what things are on the screen, left, right, and K. So first of all, the numbers that I am changing do include left and right. So I do not care about the numbers before left, and I do care about the numbers before left and the numbers after right to the end. So int left sum equals a bracket. Since this is 0 indexed, I have to subtract 2. And what is the minimum value of L? Minimum value of L is 1, right? So I cannot subtract 2. I have to see if L is the smallest from L minus 1 would give me the index of the Lth thing, whatever it is. And from that, if I subtract, no, that would be the thing. Yeah, yeah. From that, I do not have to subtract anything. This. The answer would be L minus 1 minus 1. Right. Left sum would be equal to either 0 or 1 depending on L is equal to 1 or not. Right. If L, that is if L equals 1, then let me initialize L sum, right sum, right. And if L is equal to 1, then let sum equals 0. Otherwise, left sum equals A bracket L minus 2, right? That should give me the left sum. Either it is odd or it is even, right? That is cool. And now for the right sum, either it is at the boundary or it is not at the boundary. So if right equals n, then the right sum equals 0 if r is at the boundary, else write sum equals the last thing minus the rth element, right? A n minus 1, that is the last element, minus a r minus 1, that is the rth element. I have the left sum and the right sum, and now I have to see if k is even or odd, or I can just do sum and total sum. Total sum would be equal to left sum plus right sum plus k multiplied by that thing, or instead I can just see if k is even or odd and then work with that and write if else statements. Oh shit, I have to do this faster, right? So um and sum equal to rs plus ls um plus k into l minus r, right? I think that is right. If L is 2 and R is, if L is 2 and R is 3, if L is 2 and R is 3, then the difference would be 1, but I will be changing two elements N and R 2. So this thing plus 1 and C out SS remainder 2, remainder by 2. If it is 0, then yes, I guess. No, no, otherwise yes, and then undo line. Once run test, okay, there it has to be capital. If we run this one and a b out of range vector, shit, out of range vector, which one did go out of range? N is equal to the total size. Yes, that is cool. I'm pushing back, and if L equals 1, then this, and if L equals not 1, that is, it would be 2, and A0 would exist in that case. And here n could be equal to 2, n could be equal to 1, and n minus 1 would be 0, and a would have some element and r would also have some element. This is cool, this makes sense. mm, QR 2 3 2 3 4 5 9 3. The constraints are this, k is at max, this, and this would mess things up if n is also pretty big, right? So, but this much is correct if I were to not do this. This is also, I guess, giving error. Yes, this is giving out of index range. Why? If L is 1, then this. If R is N, then this. L, R, K, that is true. And the order in which I'm getting things is N, Q, N, Q, and then this. And I from 1 to N. That is also going through as many times as I want it to be, want it to go. Okay, at this minus one. Okay, this is the thing that is giving the error. So I need to find the last one, right? So dot end go to. This makes sense. And in here, I will have to write the conditions if k remainder 2. That is, if it is odd, then my answer would only be no if L minus R plus 1 is odd. If L minus R plus 1. If R minus L plus 1 whole with remainder. With remainder. If this thing is odd, then see out. No. And that's not. Shit. Um, right. This thing, copy, else, paste, yes, and if n is even, if if k is even, then it does not matter what the other thing is. Wait, but with k, I also have to see what r and left sum and right sum is. Left sum and right sum has to be equal to even. If it is even, then I don't actually care. But if it is odd, then I would have to see. Right here, when the answer is no, I have to see this thing. Right here, I know that k is odd, and then inside left and right is odd. This would result in odd. So if check left sum plus right sum remainder 2, if it is odd, then odd plus odd becomes even. Therefore, yes. And I'm doing like, I should not be doing this much of stuff by hand, I think. Right. If this, right, at this point inside here, I know that k is odd, and if this is odd, then my thing is even. But if this is even, then k is the whole thing would be odd, and else in here, I know that k is even, then if ls plus rs, if it is odd, then I would have to output no, otherwise even. No, even, right? And the same thing in here. Shit. Y 13 k, and in here, now here I know that k is even, so I don't care about this. I don't care about this. None of this. Nothing matters. And I can just check this. If this thing is odd, then answer will be no. And if this thing is even, then answer is even. CPV test and wrong answer. That is cool. Okay, I am outputting no for all these and yes for this one. Why am I outputting no for all these? Then I actually should be outputting yes, no for all these. Why? 5, 5, okay. 2, 1, 2, to 3. I'm replacing these with 3. So this becomes even, and this is even, even. This is also, this should be odd. That is what it is asking me, right? Or if the sum of the array is odd. If it is odd, output yes. So shit. If it is, shit. If k is odd and I have odd number of k, then here the sum of k would be odd. And if sum of k is odd and this is even, this thing is also odd, then this would become even and I should output no. And this is even, then the whole thing becomes odd, and in here k is even, right? And if this thing is odd, then yes, otherwise no. And now here k is even, so everything depends on this, and if this is even, then yes, and if this is odd, then no. If this is even, then no, and if it is odd, then no. Or now more questions are wrong than before. Shit. Last one is should be yes. Let's look at that. Okay, all of them are one, and I'm changing 1 to 9 to 100. Right, so this thing is odd. Yes, answer should be yes. Why am I outputting no? From 1 to 9, everything is 100. That is cool. From 1 to 9, everything is 100. Right, A should be an array of 1. Yeah, A should be like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Yeah, dot dot dot. Yep, A should be like 1 plus 2 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till the end when it is 10, right? From 1 to 10, that should be A. And after that, I take in L, R, K, which I am taking as L, I am taking as 1, and R as 9. Shit. L is 1 and R is 9. After that, if L equals 1, which is it is, then LS becomes 0, and R equals N, which it is not. It is 9 and N is 10. Then I have RS equals N minus 1. That is N 9, and N becomes equal to 9, and R becomes equal to 8. And so RS, right, sum becomes equal to 1, which is cool. That is 10 minus 9 equals 1. And then I C is K odd. It is not odd. Yep, it is not odd. It is even. So I go into else, and in else I see LS, which is 0, and RS, which is 1. Is that thing this shit? This should work. What is the problem in this thing? See, for int I in a C out I with comma this, and then yeah, a new line. Test this thing. Okay, that is horrible. Why is A like that in these cases? Shit. Because of this. Okay. How to get the last element of a vector in C++? Regular shit dot back and this this rule That is cool. And I can do CPP, run test, and wrong answer. That is fine. Okay, wrong answer for these three. Second last, third last, third last, which is this. Okay, 3 to 10. That would be 1, 2, 3. This to 8. My bad. So from this to this one. This to this one. Everything turns into 3 to 8. Everything turns into 10. So that does not matter. Answer should be no. What am I outputting is yes, which is wrong. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that is cool, but this thing is wrong. Wrong. What is that? 3 to 8, right? 3 to 8. And k is equal to 3 to 8 and k is equal to 10, which is even. So 3 ls left sum. Right, left sum. L is not equal to 1. L is something else, and L minus 2. Since L is 3, I go from 2. Shit. Yes, L is 3, so I will not have the first two elements, and the sum of the first two elements would be 2. It is even, right? That is cool. And R is not equal to n. R is equal to 8, and the last thing is 10 minus 8 minus 1, A7. A7 equals 8, and 10 minus 8 is 2. That is also even, right? 2 plus 2, right? And then after that, I check. Nope, it's true. And then I'll go there, and should have outputted no. Me see. See out left some less right some rs new line. This here I have. Although let me output number I with which is this uh let's see, just this, and I have I equal to 1 p third last when I said yes, but should have said no. L is 2, R is 2, which is cool, right? L is 2, R is 2, that is cool. If it is 2 and 2, then I should have gone there, and K is equal to 10. I should have gone there. 2 plus 2 remainder by 2 is odd. I should have outputted no, but I didn't. Sometimes it feels that the language is wrong. Not me, but the language is wrong. Then no. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. LS is 0, RS is 1. Shit. Someone this out. See, wrong conserves. Where am I outputting that? E4 down. And this, these four. Mm, run this. Fuck. me remove the new line. And this, run this, and hmm, mm-hmm, then company first, and then the answer. After the answer, right here, and after the answer, let me go here. Right. Instead of this, I would like to have a new line. And shit, I would have to remove the new line from here. Shit, all of them are wrong now. Ah, because of that. Okay, it was supposed to be yes. No, these three are wrong. This all of these are correct. These three are wrong. I have ls left some zero, right some left some two, right some two. Right after right some. Let me have some of this space and k remainder two. It should be equal to k remainder two. K remainder two is in this one. Let's see what is k. K is equal to, in this case, 13. Huh? Why is it equal to 13 here? It was equal to 100, 2, 10, 10, 13, 3. 100, 2, 10, 10, 30. Yes, shit. It is 13 here. Yes, 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 shit. So the first two and 9 and 10 are even. That does not help me. But these, since I have even numbers in between and Rajun is odd, I should have no as the answer. 13 is odd, right? So I will go here, right, and I will see that left, right, minus left. Right is 8 minus left, minus left. 8 minus 3 is 5 plus 1, that is 6. That is now even, and it is even, so I will go in this condition. And after that, I will check is, after getting even, if this thing is odd, then yes, which it is not, then no. Well, so let me go further into this thing. After this, I will have space and r minus l plus 1, and this will have r minus l plus 1, and then I will have r minus l plus 1, r minus l plus 1, and then ls plus rs, space ls plus rs, remainder. Shit, I am actually stupid. This has to be like this. No, I think we are good to go. Apart from the fact that I need to put new lines, uh, new lines, new line, new line here, and a new line here. Run this one, and now these two are wrong. Why? It's because of this. Run and correct answer. That is very cool. D odd queries. So I should not have taken that much time. Please, D odd queries. This is the one. I've only done 3 questions today till now, and it has been quite a while. Yep, it is running amazingly and accepted. Good. Odd queries not now not diving. How long has it been? It's been almost 2 hours. And that okay, you are given an array. Either so this will be the last question that I solved today. You are given an array n of positive integers from a to n. Okay, in one operation you can choose any a number of the array and add 1 to it. Make at most 2n operations. Okay, that is at most I can increase the total sum by 2n so that the array satisfies the following property. An is not divisible by ai plus 1 for each from this to this. I to n minus. You do not need to minimize the number of operations. Okay. Okay, so what do I have to return? I have to return the changed array. Okay. But what I can do is only add 1. Okay. That is doable. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If I have 1, then I will see a problem. I will have a problem. Okay, 1 would be an edge case. Delete VLP for boilerplate and go there. Okay, what is the input like? Input first I have n and then the array itself with maximum size 1 billion. Int n, theme n, and vector of integers called a, and for int I equals 0, I less than a, I plus plus I less than n, I plus plus p into c, which I will declare above. I see I have my array fulfilled. My array is hydrated. Now, what I have to do is, at most I can do 2n operations. So I can increase one element by 2, by at most 2. That is 2. So at for int I equals 0, I less than a dot a and minus 1 and I plus plus, right? And then if, yeah, I would only have a problem if a bracket I plus 1 remainder with a I, then we have a problem that we have to solve. And now if ai equals 1, then I increase ai, right? Then I will have to increase ai plus equals 1. Yeah, then I will have to increase ai, otherwise I can just increase the next one. Else ai plus 1 plus equals 1, I can increase the next one. If it is not 1, and it might be the case that I have 1, 2, and by increasing it by 1, I will mess it up, and that would be the only case in which no, no, no. If the next thing is even, then would be the case. So after doing this, I will see if AI plus 1 is still divisible by AI, and if it is, then AI plus 1 has to be increased by 1, right? And I think I can just do plus plus here, and the same thing at all of these places, plus plus, and here also plus plus, and at the end I have to output a. So for int I in a cout I with a space, and at the end cout a new line. If we run test wrong, but fuck, why is this? This is completely wrong. This one is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. But expected this, and 2 4. Shit, this is horrible. Ah, my bad, my actual bad. Because this thing equals 0, or more like if not, and here also not. Now, right, 2 5 3 7 2 4 3 and 4 2. Cool. I can submit it. This is called B not dividing. Choose file, B not dividing, and submit. And there are no comments. That was fine. Running on test 2. Shit, fuck. It messed up on test 2. Wrong answer for test case 7. Okay, at least I can see what the test case is. The wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this. Okay, if the next one is also 1, that is fine. That is fine. What is my output for this one? Okay, according to my algorithm, this will become 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh, okay, 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 okay. This will become 2, 2. So yeah, 2, 2 is wrong. 2, 2 is wrong. 2, 2 is wrong. I cannot have 2, 2. I cannot have 2. Yeah. Increasing this one by 1 and increasing the next one also by 1 would result, yeah, it would only be a problem in the case when I have a continuous string of ones, right? If I have a continuous string of ones, is that the case? If I have a continuous string of ones, is that the only case in which, is that the only edge case that my solution is not addressing? Right, if I have a continuous string of ones, right. So either the next one is 1, or either the next one is 2. If the next one is 2, increase that by 1 and make it equal to 3. But if it is 1, I know that it will become equal to 2. So if it is 1, I know that it will become equal to 2. Then what I have to do is I have to increase that. Yep, I will have to increase it. Mhm, mhm. And I'm increasing from the start, right? Look, I'm increasing the next one, which is pretty cool. but in some cases I am increasing the current one. If it is 1, right? If it is 1, I am making it equal to 2, right? And then I am checking the next one, and either the next one, right, is equal to 1 or 2. Yeah, yeah. So okay, these are the two edge cases that I would have to consider if ai plus 1 equals 2 equals 2, and else if ai plus 1 equals 1, then if the next one is equal to 1, I know that it will become equal to 2. So I want to make it equal to 3, right? So either this equals 2, in both the cases it will become equal to 3. I plus 1 equals 1. In both the cases I want to make it equal to 3. And since the maximum amount of operations that I can have is 2n, then would this cause a problem? Nope. No, no, this will not cause a problem, because at max I am only increasing any element by 2. Yes, at max, and that is the maximum that is allowed to me. So that is cool. Fuck. Test case 2. In this, my output was 2. If it is 2, then make it equal to, should have made it equal to 3. Uh-huh. Uh, uh, if either of these is increase I1. Mhm. And if the next one if the next one is equal to 2 or 1, make it equal to 3. Mm, 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 mm. Not this, that is where the next one is divisible by the current one, and if that is the case, then check is the current one 1, and if the current one is equal to 1, then increase it by 1 to make it equal to 2, and just say this one becomes equal to 2. And now if the next one, if it is equal to 2 or equal to 1, then make it equal to 3. Shit, this should have worked. Let's see. 2, 3, 1, then the next one is equal to 2, so make it equal to 3. A plus 1. Bruh. AI equals 2 and AI plus 1 equals 3. Uh, Resources for learning. Uh, Code. I don't know. I'm just doing these sheets and hoping that it would help me. That is all. AI plus 1 plus plus. Else increase the next one if the current one is. Yes, else increase the next one if the current one is not equal to 1. Bruh. Um, we run. Shit. 4-2 is fine. 4-2 is completely fine. 2-2 is not very fine. Why am I even getting 2-2 after getting 1 and 2 and 3? Nice. Yeah. What is correct? Oh shit. I am actually stupid. This or that. Shit, shit, shit. My bad. Submit. Now we should be good to go. Wrong answer on test 2. Let's see which one. Test number 10. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one. Yeah, yeah. Either one. If it is 1, make it equal to 3. If it is 2, or any multiple of 2. Remainder by 2, where if not remainder by 2, that is remainder by 2 is 0. Then we are good to go. Yeah, should have seen that coming. Either the next one is 1 or a multiple of 2. Shit, wrong answer on test 2. Again, again, the 10th one. What is my 10th output? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This seems fine, right? Yeah, this is the 10th one, right? Answer is their output and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 2, 3, 5, 6. That is correct. That is actually correct. Not dividing. Yeah, that is correct. Oh, yep. 10th one is, yeah. This array cannot be obtained by forming operations. Okay, 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 okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This array cannot be formed by following those operations. This is my answer, and the question was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This was the question. Right. So the total leeway that I have, number of operations is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, shit. How did this got reduced due to some reason? Shit. Right. Hey, shit. Mm, this is the input 316. 316 is the input, and I converted this into this. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, shit, 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 shit. Um, okay, I will have to check them separately then. If this is the case, then I plus plus, this plus plus, else if AI plus 1 equals 1, then AI plus 1 equals 3. And now we are good to go. Submit. Let's see. If it is WA on test 2 wrong, then mostly your logic is wrong. If it is WA on some later test, then maybe your implementation is wrong. It is WA on test 2, then my logic is wrong. Or maybe my logic has some flaws. On test 37. That is cool. 1, 2. The array does not satisfy property this divisible by that. Okay, so my answer is wrong, and then But am I actually going to do 37 down? I don't think I have 37 rows here. Hmm, 37 down. Oh, I do have 37 rows. Right, so either it is this or this. One of these. Or this. Yeah, this one does not follow the thing. This one is wrong. 2, 2, 3, 4, 2. And I don't think I will be able to see the output. See the question. 37 down, right? Alright, so 37 down would mean twice 37 down around this place. And shit, that makes sense. If I have 2 and then I have 1, yes, my logic is wrong. 2 and then 1. So I have to increase this, right? And this would only be in the case that the last one was 2. Yep. So in this case, I would have to increase this thing. I would have to increase the next shit. I would have to make this one equal to 3. And yeah, that is cool. Wait, if I can just increase everyone by 3, then it would be fine. But no, then it would not be fine because there then I would also have this one and this one. If I make this equal to 3 and also this equal to 3, then it is messed up. So I first make this equal to 3 only if the last one was equal to 2 and other logic that I have written till now is good. Yes. So I would only face problem making 1 equal to 2 when the last one was also 2. Right. Yeah. That is cool. If the last one was also 2 and I can check it. Right. If this is the case, that is if I have 1 now if if I greater than 0, then let me check a few things. If I is greater than 0 and and a I minus 1 equals 2, in that case make this a I equals 3, make the current one equal to 3, and yes, then I would not, if the next one is equal to 1, I would not like to make it equal to 3. And wait a minute, I would have to go. I'll be right back. Yep, I'm back. Someone was at the door. No. Yep. It's easier to think about it. If we decide the first n operations to add 1 to all elements equal to 1, right? And then dedicate the second n operations to adding 1 if this thing is true. Shit, yes. If I just eliminate all the ones from the start, then we are good to go. If we guarantee no elements are equal to 1, there is no number other than 1 that divides. Shit. Yes. That is actually pretty good. And I would like to ask, have you read some theory on these things since you have been even in the past? You have been able to come up with things like this pretty quickly, and that is pretty cool. Not like pretty quickly, but with solutions that to me seem pretty cool, very brilliant. Go up there, and I equals 0, and I less than n and I plus plus. Right? What the heck is wrong with my LSP? Oh shit, I'm recording something. Shit. Uh, right. If a I equals 1, then a I plus plus. Right, and after this, do all of these things. If this is divisible, then if it is divisible, if it is divisible, then just increase by 1 and then see out. That is cool. Let's see. I did a bit of discrete maths at uni, and it is very helpful for this type of thinking. Discrete maths, okay, that is like discrete structures and things. Can you suggest a nice book which I can read? I know about Concrete Mathematics by Donald Knuth. Concrete Mathematics by Donald Knuth and two other people. And I have been wanting to read this for a while now, and I will read it in some time. But is there some book for discrete mathematics? That would be pretty cool. Accepted. Cool. Shit. And this solution to just increase it by 1 and then look for the condition that we were looking for and then move forward. That is pretty cool. And that would be the end of today's stream. And I will end the stream in just a minute and see if you are still there. And there is a book that you like to suggest. Discrete mathematics. Discrete mathematics. I think there should be something on Hacker Rank about this. Let's see. Wait, they have an offline place. Hacker Rank. Should they do have an a offline place? Yeah, that is cool. Right here. Okay, scroll animations. Mm. Resources. Learn, support, customer, developer skills support, start a free trial. I am already logged in. I was logged in with my GitHub. Products. Shit. Why is it different from the one I saw in the morning? And yeah, ethics. Hello, sir. I am going to enter into engineering. Any suggestions? I don't have much suggestions, but do not call me sir. I'm just learning, and I don't have a book, but I have a planner that I follow. I can try to find it. Okay, well, that is fine. I will look for a book myself. Then planner is also good, I guess. And if you are going into engineering, I guess you should know how to code. And for code, I only have one suggestion. If you are a beginner, do CS50 by Harvard. Like one of the best things that we have is free course by Harvard to learn how to program. Pretty cool. David Jamelin. And I have his number in my phone. He shows his number in like one of the lectures and I copied it. That's cool. CPHV competitive programming, and yes, I actually downloaded it today. Shit. Do I want to show you guys my download screen? Yeah, that is fine. This CP Scratchbook I called it. Yep. Competitive Programmer's Handbook. I was looking on YouTube for things in competitive programming and I downloaded this. That will be good. I will read this offline or maybe on the stream. And now it is 2:41 and that would be the end of today's stream. I will wait because there is a delay in YouTube and so you can hear that I am actually ending the stream and bye. मतलब मैं for competitive programming and yep, that is the end of the stream. Thank you for being here, even though you didn't have to, but thank you for being here.